We're now trying to figure out how to respond to the horrible attacks in Paris. At least 127 people killed, hundreds injured. French President Hollande has said that we are at war and ISIS did it. So the question is, how are we going to react to that? Well, we've got a number of Republicans running for president here in the United States, and they unfortunately have some terrible ideas. Now, this one is Ted Cruz. He reacts this way. He says, we must immediately recognize that our enemy is not violent extremism. Really? That's what I thought exactly what it was. He says, it is the radical Islamism that has declared jihad against the West. So our violent extremism, awesome. Their violent extremism, problematic. Islamic extremism is violent extremism. Why make a distinction? The only reason to make a distinction is to say, when we do it, it's awesome. It's only bad when they do it. Okay. He says, it will not be appeased by outreach or declarations of tolerance. Really, who's saying right now that we should do outreach to ISIS? Nobody's saying that. So that's a straw man. And he's trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, the Democrats, they'd like to do outreach to ISIS. No, what we would like to do, for example, is to do outreach to Muslims that are fighting against ISIS. For example, our great allies, the Kurds. They're also Muslim. It'd be great to do outreach to them. In fact, the Republican Party wants to arm them. That's a fair and interesting point, but that requires reaching out, including giving them weapons. You see, you have to make a distinction between the different people who practice Islam. I know it's hard for small minds like Ted Cruz, but here comes the worst part. He said, it will not be deterred by targeted airstrikes with zero tolerance for civilian casualties when the terrorists have such utter disregard for innocent life. Oh, I see. So we should do likewise. ISIS is terrible. They have no regard for innocent life, so we should have no regard for innocent life. No. Other than being hideously immoral, your suggestion that we should take more civilian casualties in the area is also counterproductive. We keep bombing them. We keep killing civilians, and then their army grows. The people fighting against them, including Bashar Assad, who's a bad guy, who's a dictator, but who is Shia fighting against Sunni ISIS, says, stop bombing. They're trying to kill me, but you're helping them by creating more allies on the ground for them every time you kill civilians. You're making ISIS stronger. Please stop. Now, Assad's not necessarily right. I don't take advice from Assad on anything. But obviously, he does not want ISIS to win. The first thing they do is decapitate him, right? And so let's not be stupid in our response. I know it's hard for Republicans. I know it is, right? Now, finally, if you do civilian casualties on them, other than being immoral and other than being counterproductive, what good is it going to do you? Don't you want to get the guys who got us? Don't you want to actually target ISIS? But this approach is, who cares, man? Bomb them all. It's easy to say, and maybe some Republican voters will be like, yeah, that's right, bomb them all. Bomb all the Muslims there. Oops, we bombed the Kurds that are our allies? Oh, we bombed other Sunnis in the areas that were our allies. Oops. Oh, who cares? Bomb them all. Yeah, I'm sure it feels good, but it's pathetic. And aren't we supposed to be better than the terrorists? So let's go get the sons of bitches who did it, and let's bring them to justice, whatever that justice might be, whether it's apprehending them, which I know is incredibly difficult, or ending the lives of the people who ended lives in Paris. Of course we all want that justice, but we don't want to kill innocent civilians while doing it because it's not going to work. And the idea that, we just bomb them, that'll work. But we have been bombing them. We have dropped thousands of bombs on ISIS. They did the Paris attack after we did that. So even if you think that it was a wonderful idea, did it work in stopping them? Apparently not, because they just did the Paris attacks after we dropped thousands of bombs on them. Please, for God's sake, use your head. I know, big ask of Republicans.